country and two of the top face-off men really over the last 3 years in college lacrosse. Jake Naso wins it from Petey LaSalla. First possession of the game to the Duke Blue Devils. Both these Fogos will stay on too and generate quick offense, as Naso tried to do it hitting Williams, but it bounces off his stick and it'll be a turnover.
And we talk about psychology, right, with this matchup with Virginia and Duke. The face-off dot is very psychologically driven because Jake Naso, as much success as he's had, the one guy he really hasn't been able to solve over the years, Petey LaSalla.
Evans in, completes the clear. Now Virginia with an opportunity, first time of the game, 6v6. They'll get into the, this is another part of their game that they have gotten much better at this year. Early offense on the quick break. Try to get it for Zoli, cutting with a long pole. He got decked.
That was a good look by Dyson Williams. The lefty known to be a goal scorer, only 2 assists on the season.
39 goals and 2 assists.
Found for Zoli, but I like that. It's giving him, he's playing in Division III at St. Lawrence. And I think he's been one of the bigger surprises in college lacrosse from a D1 perspective, based on performance.
3 turnovers early for Virginia. They haven't even really tested Helm. Duke with the successful clear. Now they'll get a chance here early and score the first goal of the game. It's Williams. That's number 40 on the season for Dyson Williams.
He's born to score. The senior Canadian lefty. Give him an opportunity. And we talked about transition. Caputo is a defensive midfielder. He knows he can spot feed Williams. And this is what I like about Duke in 2023. Much more transition, an opportunity.
O'Neal, that's a question mark, and a goal.
This is smart lacrosse by Brennan O'Neal. Moments ago I mentioned they're flushing him to the right side. So he knows Quentin Matsui is going to force his right hand. He plays it like he wants just a straight line dodge to get that righty shot, because moments ago he didn't change his hands. He just went past goal line extended and shot righty. This time he rolls back. So he's playing a little cat and mouse game. It's the counter from the first dodge. It's the question mark, and it's the answer.
Saw the goal streak from Williams.
Garrett Ledman, number 1, stepping up as Balsamo gets a short stick, right? Because all the teams are worried physically about Ledman.
Denenza almost was able to get his hands free. Just way too much traffic, though. Now Kastner.
What a play. What a play by 39 in blue, right? Closing on that ball and scooping it to Schellenberger.
Connor, he's shooting. Dixon to Schellenberger. McConvey. Extra pass. Shot, score! Cormier is able to finish it. Dixon, who I thought McConvey was going to take the shot. No. That's what everybody else thought. He knew he had Cormier.
They've been playing lacrosse since they're like 4 or 5 years old, McConvey and Cormier, but it all starts with Cole Kastner, who's a menace in the middle of the field. Does an incredible job. Watch this little scoop to himself, and then he flips it to Schellenberger. I mean, that is an amazing middle of the field play by a defender who they use so much in space too. He's big in the ride, but he obviously...
Second midfield unit for Duke. So Owen Caputo in now. And joined by Grant Mitchell. 55's getting some more playing time. Schelling upfield now. Kastner with the help. Inside, O'Neal can't get his hands free though. Is all over him, and he gets finally rocked. Loose ball in front of the crease. Smallest guy in the field, McAdory, comes out of there with it. Skip past the far side. Caputo takes a shot. Nunes is there. Up in front. Johnny on the spot is Tommy Schelling.
How do you answer? Virginia's the highest scoring team in the nation with 18 goals plus per game, because you have guys like Peyton Cormier who can slice and dice a goalie. But on the other side, Duke averaging over 15 goals a game. Nunes makes a fantastic first save But the rebound, Tommy Schelling, the fifth-year senior, knows. How does he respond in terms of his change of direction and his quickness against Kenny Brower?
Here's the matchup. Schellenberger trying to get free, can't, but he gets it to Garno, shoots and scores! You've been telling me for a long time that's what you need to see more from 33, Peter Garno.
The reason being, Cotter, is you have all of these great finishers. Cormier, McConvey, Dixon. If you have that outside stretch shooter, Peter Garno, defenses have to deal with you differently. But what I love about this is the patience and the feed by Connor Schellenberger. The boss is back. One in blue is healthy, and he's dealing. This is the matchup I was talking about. The quick McAdory against the long Kastner.
Oh boy, there was a confusion that time defensively for Virginia, and McAdory's gonna make you pay every time.
He didn't have to run by Kastner because Virginia didn't play the pick right. Miscommunication, there was no fighting through the pick or a switch. McAdory realizes that. Watch here behind. Balsamo with the pick, and the lack of communication by Virginia. The speedster McAdory, once he sees that space, he hits the accelerator and pings that bottom corner. Lacrosse tournament, men's or women's. Direct flights for all the schools.
Right. Also, that American Legion Stadium where they had the PLL last year, it's a great size stadium. Perfect for lacrosse. And Schelling! Tommy Schelling with his second goal of the game.
Schelling's coming alive, coming into today's contest. More of a passer with the 7 assists and only 3 goals. He's got 2 already, Cotter. It's been Johnny on the spot. First was the rebound, and this is a really nice one-on-one move. Gets the defenders in to bite back. Thinking he's going behind the cage, and then he switches his hands again. So right here, Schelling decides to go back. Zinn thinks, okay, I got him. He's just going behind the cage. He's going to have a basic exchange from a pass standpoint, and then he re-attacks. So the re-dodge by Tommy Schelling.
4 minutes left to go in this first quarter. They haven't needed him. Schelling in this second midfield line has really picked it up. Denenza. Ledman, now we'll see him shoot. Fakes it. Look at that pass. Oh, wow! Williams finishes it. Great ball movement. I couldn't even keep up with it, Card.
You were asking about Garrett Ledman, how he's been quiet. He's the reason for this goal, Cotter. He decides to go to the rack, and he gets the entire Virginia defense to collapse. This is Garrett Ledman right there with the face dodge. Look at all the blue shirts. That's where this defense is broken down. And McAdory with a brilliant pass to Dyson Williams because he got the defense spinning. Once McAdory catches the ball, he knows they are disoriented. They are completely a mess in terms of where they're playing or who they're playing. Got an active stick with quick hands, and you saw when Schellenberger decided to bring that stick back just a little bit, Frizzoli had the answer.
Try to get it to Cormier, who avoids the crease but can't keep the ball.
But part of that is playing clean, too. You're not going to beat this team on the road with more turnovers than shots.
McAdory shoots, Snoons makes the save.
Not beaten Duke in the regular season since 2000.
It's crazy. It's one of those things that just doesn't make any sense because you just think because how good they've been, they'll run into a win. Somehow, some way, they'll find a way to have all the balances go their way over that length of time. And they've won a couple of games in the postseason. It's just the regular season. Now, man up for Garno. Hell makes the save, can't find it, now he does.
That was the look, though, right? He had that step down the grain and has to play him when he drives lefty differently than when he drives righty.
McIntosh loses his footing. We'll get a call here.
The defense. A little bit of a hold in the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah, a little right up on the lower side of the helmet.
In the replay.
Nice pass, and Garno will get another look. Race for the ball at the end line. Won by the Blue Devils. That's great hustle.
Watch Dyson Williams, 51 in white. After this transfer, he'll go inside.
That's McAdory over to Caputo. Denenza shoots and scores.
Denenza's been doing all the little things. Smart player, tremendous IQ. He's in the right spot at the right time. And watch the release as Grayson Solity goes out to pressure Denenza, shoots right over him. And it looks like Nunes' screen can't track it. Blue Devils up 4, the domination. Like all the alum athletes, non-athletes, bringing back their families on a beautiful weekend down here. Sun splash day.
Great crowd. They're seeing a Duke team take control of this game against Virginia. It's 7-3. Great chance here. They make it 8-3. And it's Aiden McGuire, the freshman from Hingham, Mass, on that rope unit. Coach Danowski's been singing his praises, and he gets rewarded with an offensive opportunity and his 3rd goal of the year.
This guy looks the part. He plays the part. He's an offensive midfielder out of St. Seb's in Massachusetts. And I think the biggest change for Duke this season that people really don't talk about as much is the play of the short stick defensive midfielders. Jack Gray and Aiden.
Field right now, they've gone over 17 minutes without a goal, and they've allowed Duke to forge this 5-goal advantage, looking to make it more. Caputo will shoot and make it more. 9-3.
They can't miss. Owen Caputo has had a balanced season. That's his 12th goal to go along with 12 helpers. 50-year senior, he's been there and done it, and the extra man, no one is respecting him as an outside presence. And he says, give me time and room. I'll make you turn and rake.
Berth losers and probably must win the rest of the season type of situation.
That's exactly right. I think the winner can split their last 2 games, right? It's all ACC play from now on. I think the loser, you just ask them to be underdogs in both games, and it's probably too much.
I mean, Carolina, if Carolina wins that game and they split the last 2 games they have with Notre Dame, they play Notre Dame. They can host. That's how big of a game this is for them in terms of keeping all their hopes and dreams alive.
Especially if Johns Hopkins continues to win. That's a big win for them at a conference.
Look at O'Neal physically and scores.
Everyone is coming to the party for the Blue Devils. And it's only a matter of time their best player makes a monster play. Who was the guy I talked about earlier? Aiden McGuire and Jack Gray. Jack Gray makes that play. And then O'Neal just eats the defensive pressure for Virginia. Soaks this check right here. He just runs through. That's just too easy. You cannot rely just on stick to stop 34.
Top 10. We'll get that at halftime of this Hopkins-Ohio State game at 2 o'clock as Virginia strikes back. Now this may actually help the Wahoos. Last minute of the half, Kark, they got to get that bench going. They got to get some good feeling, and maybe this and maybe one more before we go to break will really get them thinking they got a shot in the second half here.
Give them reason to believe. And Jeff Connor, the 5th-year senior, he plays both ends. He's all over the field, a lot like Brian Tevlin and Quinn McCann for Notre Dame. Loses that ball in the initial dodge, but he's smart enough to get his own GB and turns and shoots. With broken sticks this year, thinks there's like an epidemic.
Great check by Schellenberg and a beautiful pass, and Nunes robs Denenza. Under draws, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I mean, in every single draw, it's like a wrestling match, right? Like,
what these guys must feel like on Monday morning or Sundays.
But here we go.
After weekend games. Ouch.
Here we go. Naso again wins to start this second half. And Duke does a good job of not. Flock comes into play. There's no sync. There's no flow. Connor. Now it's desperation time. Gets it inside, and they're able to finish it, and that's Cormier. It took them the entire shot clock, but eventually they did what they want to do.
You know, you talk about guys like what's wrong with this player, or they need this player to step up. The one constant in big games, and I say it all the time, is Peyton Cormier. Like, he catches everything, and he finishes inside. Like, he's not aiming for corners. He catches that ball under pressure. Frisoli's stick is in the gloves of Peyton Cormier.
Nice job by Chismar. Now Zinn on Mitchell. Sawstead comes to help out. Mitchell's in a little trouble, but he gets out of it. Now he gets it to a man in front.
This is a problem, though. If you watch that defense, Grant Mitchell's...
Spins free, now gets it back to Schutz. Schutz just wants to be physical, you can tell. Garno tries the slick pass inside and no chance. That I can remember, Cart. Ledman. Look at the attention he draws. Now can Duke find someone open? They do, and it's O'Neal, but Nunes goes down and robs him.
That was sick ball movement. Cavaliers, their goalie, the sophomore from Houston, Texas, Matthew Nunes, has done his part.
Do the Cavs have a run in them? 5 goals at the midway point of this third quarter. It's almost hard to believe. Schutz shoots, scores, make it 6. Couple from the big fella. The deficit is 4 goals now, Kark.
I'm seeing something different out of him in the third quarter, right? How assertive he's been in these possessions, going to the rack. He was a little unlucky in some prior attempts, but this one, he's just too big at 6'2", 230. Schutz cans it, but it's all Matthew Nunes who's giving this offense life. Like, that is an incredible stop. And watch this, when he has a short stick on him, a big guy even like Aiden McGuire gives Stevenson a little shove, get out of my way after that goal. Stevenson didn't like it, but guess what? 26 is a beast.
O'Neal on Sawstead. Sawstead just peppering him. Shelley, though, now the extra pass. Carey shoots. Nunes makes the save.
He bailed him out again. Sawstead was playing good defense. They slid too early.
Beautiful outlet, too. Kastner. Schellenberger. He'll shoot and score!
This is the life you need. In 41 in blue, Matthew Nunes has been brilliant in the third quarter. The early sliding by Virginia requires a bailout. There's only one person who can save this. It's your goalie. Closing the door. Duke is scoreless in this third quarter. It's Cole Kastner in transition. It's top shelf by Schellenberger. And it's the react by the goalie.
25 to shoot. Balsamo on Soliday. Balsamo's a pretty slick player. Can Soliday stay with him? He can, but he held up a little bit, and that didn't matter. Charles Balsamo, the freshman, is able to beat Nunes. First goal in ages for the Blue Devils.
That could be the biggest goal of the day for Duke, because it's the answer. Virginia had 4 straight. Duke had been scoreless in this third quarter, and Grayson Soliday, who's been a lockdown short stick defender, tries to muscle up the freshman Balsamo, but when you talk to John Danowski, he says this kid is gritty and he is slick, and you see it on this goal. You see grit and you see slickness.
And the lead is back to 4, Cart.
When you see a dodge like that from a freshman, you see confidence too, right? Like, he went to the cage with conviction.
Speaking of going to the cage, McAdory scores and makes it 2 in a row for the Blue Devils. He's missed a couple from that spot today. He wasn't going to miss that time.
A few minutes ago, Cotter, as Duke celebrates in the stands on a beautiful spring afternoon, I told you I didn't like his release. It was pure underhand. From the same exact spot, and I've seen Andrew McAdory do this before. This is the release I was looking for. It's a 3-quarter, over-the-top release to the bottom.
Oh, Schutz couldn't catch it.
Yeah, he had his eyes on the goal. You saw his head was facing the goal when it should have been on the ball.
Now he's on the run. Look at that full head of steam, and he beats him high.
This kid's a beast, man. And for someone like you, I'm sitting next to you, and I'm looking at these arms, and I'm looking at these chests, right? Like, there's no way you don't love a guy like Griffin Schutz.
Right. And I love the fact that he probably was upset himself because he was going to have a good look, and then he got the ball back and did this.
This is why I always say go after a defender to their opposite hand, right? Wilson Stevenson switches his hand. He has to play cross forearm there against the grain.
Back to Ledman, still 20 to shoot. Zinn not giving him a shot. Williams, extra pass in front, scores! McAdory pays it off.
It's the ball movement and the unselfish approach. You have Ledman behind the cage, eyes are up. Duke gets Virginia kind of ball watching, and Denenza hits McAdory. High school teammates know each other's tendencies. Behind the cage, Denenza, who's a midfielder, is behind. McAdory, who's playing attack this year, is above. They kind of switch spots. But this kid's like a calming presence at the attack spot. Outweighed everything for John Danowski and staff.
Virginia had gotten it down to a 3-goal margin, but Duke has now taken it back out to 5. All kinds of scrapping in front. There's number 10. That is a Xander Dixon goal card if you've ever seen it. The quick hands in front of the crease.
Finishers only need a fraction of a second because of their mitts are so soft, and they know where the goal is without even looking at it. And this is Xander Dixon in a nutshell. Ball's flying all over the field. Bauer loses it, takes the hit, ball's loose, and a little backhand action to the far off pipe of William Helm. This is a thing of beauty. You could call it picking up the trash, call it whatever you want. I call it a sick goal, an awareness goal by Xander Dixon.
Maybe. Here's McAdory and Kastner. Now Whalen comes over.
The more you can trust your matchups, the deeper you could go into the shot clock, too.
O'Neal got under his man, but the slide was perfect that time. Prevent O'Neal from getting a shot, and in a collision just outside the crease, both O'Neal and for, looks like Matsui maybe for, yeah, Matsui for Virginia, both hobbling a bit. O'Neal's still down. Matsui's gotten up under his own power. Take another look, there's the collision.
Yeah, he's hurting there. The slide, and
see if this angle gives us any more of an indication.
He's sliding down. He kind of loses his footing right there. It looks like the lower bodies collided.
Yeah, maybe a hip, just like a Charlie horse. Hip pointer a little bit for O'Neal, and he's walking it off under his own power, as did Matsui. Well, that's good to see at least.
Yes. You want to make a run at a national title, your first since 2014, you're going to need 34 in white. He changes the way you play offense.
Caputo's got 22 to shoot. Try to get into McAdory, tight quarters. Zinn, he can run like the wind.
Bye-bye. Look at the legs.
He's going to have to take the shot and doesn't score. That's a juice goal. That got the Virginia bench up. As much as we've seen them all game long, the deficit is once again at 3 goals. Is this the inflection point this Wahoo team needs?
Speed kills. Virginia gets the ground ball. It's Evans in, and it is pure gas, and no one picks him up. They're too concerned about Cormier and Dixon and Schellenberger, as they should, because those guys are lethal scorers. But that's when Evans Zinn's at his best. I call it the punt return clear. He goes end to end. You can't match feet. There's life for the Virginia Cavaliers here. Find your matchups. Griffin Schutz has been aggressive in this second half. Cormier, but then the offsides.
That is a killer. And an open net and a score! Duke takes advantage because Nunes was all the way out here on the opposite side of the field.
That's not on Nunes. That's on the communication to have 4 back. Do not blame your goalie. He's trying to get the ball upfield. He's dealing with a clearing clock. It is not his responsibility. It's everyone else to talk, to communicate, to make sure that they have 4 back in the defensive zone, and they don't. And then the quick restart.
And
this is a backbreaker, Connor.
And Jack Gray does a great job of picking up the ball and just firing it into the empty net.
Yeah, he's looking right now just to clear the ball. Get it over the midfield.
And he has to hustle back. He knows he's out of position, and they're in a really bad spot. Start until the very beginning of this game, he's going to have to take over. Shuts. Pass out front. McConvey can't pick it up. Big ground ball here. Dixon gets it. Connor's open up top. Dixon can't get it to him. Got it to Shuts, though, and he beats Helm.
One thing you can't question when you watch the tape is the effort of Griffin Shuts. 26 in blue, has been a tireless worker, especially in this second half. Bodies are flying. The boys in blue get that ground ball. Xander Dixon finds Shuts, who actually catches it across his face, all in one motion, catches that ball, brings it back, and shoots within a fraction of a second. This is a high-end technical type shot and goal. 3-on-3 face-off, and they swarmed Petey.
McAdory beat his man. Now he shoots. Nunes gets another piece of it. Virginia gets possession. Down 3. Can they somehow get it to 2? Hasn't been a 2-goal advantage for Duke since early in this game.
This is the highest scoring, and they say this is an embarrassment of riches. Of course they could get it done.
Cormier on the shorty. Swim dodge. Inside tight quarters, and Helm makes the save. Schellenberger battling for the ground ball, but it's won by Boyer.
I think that was a pipe, and sometimes it's just not your day.
Right. Will Duke look to strike? McAdory, nope, slows it down. That's a veteran.
These one-on-one matchups, and the quick slides earlier weren't just, but when you're down by 3 with 4 and change left, you might have to quickly double.
Caputo finishes it off.
It's 14-11. You're feeling a run by Virginia. After the Shuts goal, they get the ball back. Cormier finds McConvey, and just unlucky. Tommy Schellens had the best game of his season. He was a mainstay in the Lehigh offense. The ball was in his stick a ton. He comes to Durham. There's a wealth of talent and superstars. Besides Schelling with goals and assists, you're getting those complementary pieces.
Rare face-off win for Virginia in this game. They got to move quickly. Schellenberger, that's quickly. Finds Chismar, that's 1 back.
What a pass and what deception on the shot by Noah Chismar, who played attack in high school and wasn't expected to be a key contributor earlier in his career when he arrived on campus. But watch the shot. Look at the deception. Beautiful feed. Dips his head and his shoulders low and gets William Helm to beat. And you haven't seen a lot of that from Virginia. That's a beautiful one-time pass by Connor Schellenberger.
Up top to Connor. Cormier. Double comes when he splits it and scores! Now it's 2 goals. Finally.
Best compliment I could give Peyton Cormier. He's a gamer. He's a flat-out gamer. Every time the moment is big, his shooting is better. There's always ice in his veins, and Duke has dared him in both matchups to beat them as a Dodger. And guess what Peyton?
Oh, what a catch by Schutz to keep possession. Look at Schutz inside. Saved by Helm. 10 seconds left on the clock. Still time for Virginia. Dixon over to Connor. He's going to take a long shot, but Helm goes down to steal it. That's going to do it. What a finish here at Koskinen.
Brennan O'Neill should send William Helm a fruit basket.
Or something else a little stronger. Maybe this weekend here in Durham.